It's animation time! Hello everyone, welcome back to another video where today I thought we'd take a little bit of a look at a recent report from the Mirror saying that Doctor Who animations are being made in celebration of Doctor Who's 60th anniversary year, aka this year. But before we get into it, if you could do me a teeny tiny little favour, click that subscribe button, it would be very much appreciated. We are just over 20 subscribers away from 18,800, and we're trying to get to 20,000 by the end of the month, so any support would be greatly appreciated on that front. I also have a Twitter and an Instagram if you'd like to follow those, the link will be in the description below. But with that said, let's get into the video. So yes, as I said, this is a report from the Mirror saying exclusive lost Doctor Who episodes brought back using cartoons to mark 60th anniversary. This is by Nicola Metford, who has a pretty good track record when it comes to Doctor Who reports from the Mirror. I believe that they are mostly the one who reports on Doctor Who stuff. Particularly, I think they had a good track record when it came to the Chris Chibnall era of Doctor Who and rumours surrounding that. Now, you may or may not be aware that this was actually a very common practice for Doctor Who up until very recently, starting with, I believe, Power of the Daleks in 2016, continuing right the way up until last year with The Abominable Snowmen. BBC was releasing lost animations of Doctor Who episodes until BBC America pulled funding for the project. However, what this article suggests is that the BBC has new funding for these animations. Lost Doctor Who episodes are being brought back to life using cartoons and colour. To mark the sci-fi show's 60th anniversary year, two stories from the 1960s are to be drawn and released on Blu-ray and DVD. They are William Hartnell's penultimate story, The Smugglers, and Patrick Troughton's third adventure, The Underwater Menace. Both 4-part stories were originally transmitted by the BBC before film prints were sold overseas and the original tapes were destroyed. Episodes 2 and 3 of The Underwater Menace have been recovered, but only brief clips from the Smugglers' story exist. An insider said, fans have been delighted as the show's 4th season has been slowly restored through animated episodes. Only 10 of the 43 broadcast episodes still exist, so we're getting to see the missing classics. Last year, the BBC ended the release of animated versions after BBC America stopped funding the restoration of early stories, but new funding has been arranged. BBC bosses plan to colorise certain stories from the Hartnell and Troughton eras, 1963 to 69, for broadcast next year. This is likely to include the very first story, An Unearthly Child. Okay, so this is actually somewhat novel. They're also planning an apparent colorised restoration of the original stories that exist, including An Unearthly Child, which will actually be broadcast, apparently. So that's interesting. So that's not an animation, that's actually a re-release of classic stories, which would be quite interesting and a quite cool way to mark the 60th anniversary, particularly if they re-release the first episode. The animation deal is not connected to the show's tie-up with Disney+. The 60th anniversary year will be marked on BBC One with 3 autumn specials featuring David Tennant as the 14th Doctor before Sex Education Shooty Gatwa takes over. So yeah, this is a bit of a weird one for me because I'm not an expert on, the classic Doctor Who animation range or anything like that. I'm not Josh Snares. I mostly cover rumours to do with the modern show. However, this is one of those things that's so highly specific that I feel like it probably does have some weight to it. Plus, the Mirror do have a pretty good track record when it comes to Doctor Who. Frankly, though, the thing I find more interesting about this report is the idea of the early classic episodes being colorised and broadcast again for the 60th anniversary year. I think that's a really nice way of marking the anniversary. And I know that some people are going to say that it's blasphemous to colorise classic stories, but the black and white versions will still exist, in home media releases and things like that. So personally, I only ever see that as a nice option for people who want it. Obviously, as has been said in the article, this isn't the first time they've tried to do, Doctor Who animations, and even in the article, they show a picture from Dreamland, which is a very different animated project. So I definitely think there is a future for Doctor Who in animated form. Whether this report is the future of that, we'll have to wait and see. I wouldn't be surprised if there was some animated stuff coming for Doctor Who, though. I mean, just by the sheer virtue of the fact that Russell T Davies is very keen on the idea of spin-offs and stuff, I could kind of see stuff like that. I guess the interesting thing, though, is the idea that it wouldn't be in any way related to the Disney Plus deal, as you would think that Disney would be frothing at the mouth with the idea of, releasing more animated Doctor Who onto their streaming service, though perhaps maybe there's some rights complications there or something like that. I don't know, but it's an interesting report nonetheless, and I'd be interested to know what you think about all this in the comments below. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to give it a like, comment down below your thoughts, and subscribe if you're new. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.